raise your hand if you thought multiplying integers was fairly easy because you knew how to do a half of it already. Okay, perfect. How many of you know how to divide? Raise your hand if you know how to divide. Good, then you already got 50% of this set too. Actually, you have this whole thing figured out already. You already know how to do this, but you don't know. Because you know how to divide and you know the rules already. Okay, so dividing integers. Quick, let's talk about how to do these. Because we just did these for homework. -6 times -2. So that's my answer, Henry. Good job. +12. Way to go. What about this one right here? 8 is a -5. Brooklyn? -40. What about this guy right here? How would I write it out for you? Would that be easier? Be like this. That's what it looks like. -8. Does everybody understand how we got -8? Perfect. Nice work. So here's the good thing. It's the same rules as your multiplying integers. Okay? So two same signs. So if you have this, guess what? That's the answer. If you have this, guess what? That's the answer. That's not our bell. If you have this, guess what? That's the answer. It's the same signs and the same rules you use for multiplying integers. Exactly the same. So there should be no guessing. So whatever you need to write down, if it's this or this, make sure you have something in your notebook to tell yourself it's the exact same rules as multiplying integers. Which is pretty cool. You don't got to learn a new set. Two same signs, you're going to get a positive answer. Two different signs, it's always going to be negative. Same thing. Let's do some examples. Actually, before we do that, we're going to talk about division just in general. Okay. Can I go to the next one or not? Yes? Okay. So, yesterday we talked about different ways we see multiplication. Let's talk about the different ways we see division. So, what's one way that you see? Actually, there's probably 3 ways. I'm going to add a third. What's a 3 or 1 way you see a division problem? What? Come on, you've seen division since probably 4th grade. Haley? Okay. You see it like that. That look familiar? Yeah. So example would be like this, 12 divided by 4. What's another way, Brooklyn? That look familiar? Okay. So it would look like this. What's another way? Anybody know another way? Alex? Kind of a fraction bar. It looks like a line. Looks just like that. Okay. 12 divided by 4. That's an example. You're going to see this one a lot from now on, and more so this one. This is kind of elementary. Okay, yeah, that's maybe how you figure some long division out, but you won't see this box a lot in your homework or books anymore. Okay, you're going to see the bar, and you're going to see this. Actually, it's probably more of this from now on. So, 3 ways you're going to see division today. Probably just those 2 more. Let's do some examples. 7/2 divided by 9. The good thing is a lot of these are things you can do in your head, or it's very simple ones. It's not thing that's going to give you a decimal or a fraction. It's going to probably be whole numbers for your answers. So 572 divided by 9. The first thing you're going to do again is you're going to do the math. Like, what's 72 divided by 9, Dylan? Well, it's going to be 8, and then I'm going to figure out, yeah, it's going to be negative because I have 2 different signs that I have in my problem. -8. Okay. This is way easy because you already know how to do half of it. What about the other one? -100 divided by -5. And if you don't know how to do it, guess what? It's okay to do this. It's fine to do that. It's fine. 20. Is it going to be a positive or a negative 20 though, Kale? It's going to be a positive 20. Nice work. Nice job. Looks like a 2 with a horseshoe. Actually, a 0. Tricky? Not so much. Not so much at all. Let's do a few more. Let's do a few more. 15 divided by 3. Bridget? 5. Positive 5. 2 positives. Positive 5. Nice work. -14 divided by 7. What about somebody I haven't heard from yet? Isabella? Try again. 7 plus 7 is 4. You know what it is. -2. Nice job. -2. Questions? Okay. Then, they're going to get a little more tricky. Okay, so yeah, we're going to do the regular 2 numbers, but then we're going to get a little trickier. Okay? So, I have 3 numbers in here, and I'm going to even include some things from yesterday that we did. So I'm going to have, this is -3 times -4 divided by 2. Now, when you have something like that, you have to follow, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, I don't think we've talked about that yet, really, this year. My 8th grade have, but you guys have not. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do -3 times -4. What's -3 times -4? 12. That's 12. Then I'm going to bring this down and say, okay, what's 12 divided by 2, which is pretty simple. It's positive, so 6. So they might do some things that you have to do beforehand before you do your division, but division will be included somewhere in the problem today, okay? But you might be adding or subtracting first or multiplying before your division. Okay. Another thing they might have you do is substitute again. Okay, so like when you saw the ones yesterday where it's like AB then together or ABC together, they're going to also do something like that. So what is my S supposed to equal? What's my S supposed to equal? Can you see it up there? It's kind of tiny, Aiden. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it so it looks like this. And I think that's where a lot of you are not doing. You're not rewriting your problems or so you can see it all out. You're trying to do it all in your head. Rewrite them out for yourself so you can see them. Makes it easier. Then I'm going to do my 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2 is 8. Then I'm going to divide by -8. 8 divided by -8. Henry? Ooh, not subtraction. What's 8 divided by, how many times is 8 going to 8? 1 time, right? So is it going to be a positive or negative one, though? Isabella? -1. Yep. You know what? A lot of people would make that mistake. So many people would say that was 1. So make sure you're careful when you're dividing. Okay? Make sure you're careful. Let's do some more like that. I'm going to skip that for now. And I'm going to come back. Let's do some more like that. Let's do AB divided by 2. A is going to be -3, and B is going to be -2. Actually, I'm going to put a C up there also. C is going to be a 5. We don't have C in there this time. Okay, so what am I going to substitute? What am I going to substitute? Yep, go ahead. A is going to be -3, and what's B going to be? -2. And what does that mean when they're together? It means multiply them together. So -3, I have -2 divided by 2. I'm going to solve this top part first. Anybody know what it is? Yeah, Ella? Yep, this is 6. And then I'm going to divide by 2. You should have 3. Okay, so far so good? So far so good? Okay, we'll do some more examples so you have some more examples for yourself. Let's oops. Do this one for me. B, C divided by 5. B, C, I just wrote a different way now, divided by 5. Sorry. Don't forget to, those B and that C, you got to multiply them together. When they're beside each other, you're multiplying. Don't forget that. Can you see without your glasses? Are you sure? Wait, please. Okay. Just begin to. Alright, somebody tell me what to do. What am I going to do here? Alyssa. negative 2 times 5 because I have that's B and my C, and I get what? Negative 10. Then negative 10 divided by 5. Then what? Negative 10 divided by 5. Keep going, Alyssa. Negative 2. It should be a negative 2. Negative 10 divided by positive 5, negative 2. So just be careful. Good. Nice job. Anything? I should just make sure that I have all of them so they don't spring something on you. Let me make sure. Okay. I want to do one more because I want to make sure we know what we're doing. Let's do negative 2 minus 5 divided by 2. That's not going to work. Let's do this 6. So negative 2 minus 6 divided by 2. So you have to remember your subtraction rules because I have, up here is a subtraction problem. Look at that. Anybody remember what I do with subtraction? Anybody remember? Brooklyn? Yes, that is only for subtraction, you guys, nothing else. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to change this, but if I change this, what do I have to do this number? So I have to change the sign to that opposite. So don't forget that. A lot of us will get this middle one, but we forget the last one. Don't forget the last one, because if you're going to change two signs regardless. The middle one, and then whatever the second one needs to be. Okay, so what's negative 2 plus negative 6? Brooklyn? Negative 8, and then I can do negative 8 divided by 2, which would be a negative 4. So, how are we feeling with this? Feeling okay? Are we feeling like, let's try it? Like, what are we feeling here? Everybody's just like, silent. Thinking it's easy, like, gotta help me out. Pretty easy, like, are we doing okay? Thumbs up, like, thumbs up? Yes. But that's only multiplication. Because 2 negatives, right? Because 2 negatives, it's like all cats. That's a good question because somebody would do that. That's why those rules are only for multiplying and dividing. And then divide, yes? Or if there's division. Do you want me to do an example? Okay. So an example would be like this. 2 times 4 divided by negative 2. Something like this. It's like I'm going to multiply 2 positives. So my 2 positives, 4 times 2, 8. Okay? Then I have 8 divided by negative 2. And then my answer, that's when it depends on my answer what that's going to be. So this would be a positive 8 and a negative 2. So it's going to be a 4, but it's going to be a negative 4 because that makes, yep, good. That's a good question. That's a good question. Does that make some more sense to you now seeing an example? Okay. Ella. Okay, so how do you know for sure? I would wait till the end and say, okay, what are my last two numbers that I'm working with? Those last two will tell me what my sign is going to be. Is one positive and one negative? Are they both positive? I would wait till my last two numbers that I have that I'm going to work with. That'll tell me what my sign is going to be. Does that make more sense to you? Okay, wait till the last two. Okay, so anybody else? These are good questions. Anybody else have other questions? Okay, I'm going to quick go back to my story problem, then I'll show you your homework for today. Okay, so if the temperature went down 20 degrees, remember yesterday in our story problems there's always one that's negative? Guess what? That's going to be the same today. Okay? So, if the temperature went down 20 degrees in 5 hours, how much did the temp go down per hour? Well, what number is going to be positive up here? If the temperature dropped 20 degrees, what's going to be negative up here? Not positive. Did I say positive? I meant which one's going to be negative. Yeah. 20 is going to be negative, down 20. Good. So, negative 20. it goes down in 5 hours, but I want to know how much it goes down in 1, so what am I going to do to this? Divide by 5. And I should get a 4, but it's going to be, since I have a positive and a negative, it's going to be negative. So it went down 4 degrees every hour. Your short forms are going to be just like yesterday. There's going to be one number that's a negative, and then only today is just dividing instead of multiplying. Okay? Are there any other questions that you have for me? Because those were good ones. Those were good ones. Okay. All right. Let's look at your